me and my screen. So your practice is private and your own. And then we'll go ahead and take a seat back on our seat. So this morning's practice is all about being messy. I feel like the new year rolls around and everyone gets caught up in this new year, new me. And so for this practice today, the new me, if we're looking for one, is one that is not bound by everyone else's expectations, right? We're not controlled by that hypercritical voice in our head that was passed down from generation to generation that says you're not enough, this isn't right, you need to do it different, look different, be different. If we're rolling into the new year as a new somebody, it's letting go of that voice. It's letting go of the beliefs that say that our bodies, our hearts, our souls, exactly as they are, aren't worth what someone else's is. And I just want to invite you today to really bask in the truth that yoga shares with us. So the 8-limb practice, the very foundation of it is that we are the same, that our outside suits might look different, how people perceive and treat us, how we perceive and treat ourselves might all look different. But when you take all that away, right? When you set it aside for a moment, in our core, who we are is the same. We are all connected deeply with each other. And so as we roll into the new year, we're going to embrace our messiness, knowing that everyone is a mess, everyone. And the people who say they aren't often are the ones that are hiding it the most. So we're going to be open and honest. We're going to embrace who we are. And starting with this practice, let's find a cozy seat. So we really want our sits bones firmly connected with our seat and the pads of our feet firmly connected with the earth. So it helps to scoot to the edge of the seat until those butt cheeks are firmly planted and the pads of your feet are firmly planted. And then on an inhale, what you might do is press down through your seat and up through the top of your head, lengthening the spine just a little bit. And then let the shoulders relax down towards the earth. Let the belly soften. We'll start our practice, an invitation to place one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly, and let your eyes soften or your view grow fuzzy. And we'll just take a moment to breathe into your body, a deep breath into the belly and the lungs, and a nice big exhale through the nose or mouth. A few more of those, filling the body up, feeling it stretch and expand, and then exhale, let it go. One more time. Now you might find a natural rhythm to your breath, something that feels easy, keeping the belly soft, the shoulders soft. We'll take a moment and give ourselves permission to show up exactly as we are. We'll practice it here in the seat, and we'll carry it with us throughout the day, a willingness to show up how we need to for ourselves, a willingness to meet our body exactly where it's at. And instead of wishing it were different, we delight in what it's capable of, how it's transforming, the peace and the healing that it's finding. We offer ourselves that in our practice this morning. So you might just breathe that intention into your heart center. With each inhale, feeling the heart expand, making space for the imperfections that make up the beauty of us. Knowing that we share in our messiness. It connects us just as much as any other part of us. So we invite it in, we allow it to be. Beautiful. You might lower your hands down into your lap. You might keep them where they are. But one more time on an inhale, lengthen through the spine, press through the crown of the head. And then we're going to start little neck circles. So with the top of your head, just drawing little circles on the ceiling. And our goal is to keep the length through the spine as you draw them. Allowing the shoulders to relax. And then let the circles grow and grow as you draw them. Keep the belly soft. We tend to clench it and shallow the breath when we concentrate. So pressing long through the top of the head, finding these big, slow circles. I like to move with the breath. So I inhale as my face rounds up, exhale as it rounds down towards my lap. It just helps me slow my movement and breathe deeply into my body. And so typically with these neck circles, we tend to crunch the neck down low, seeing if we can't get those ears down towards those shoulders. But this morning, we're keeping the length through the spine, the length through the top of the head, almost like there's a string that's pulling our spine long as we draw these circles. And then on an exhale of your choice, you're going to pause with that right ear sunk towards that right shoulder. Let that right shoulder soften. Let your jaw soften here. We're really focusing on the left side of the neck. We want to feel the length here. So if you'd like a little more stretch along the side of the neck, you're going to sweep that right arm up and gently weight the side of your head down. Belly remains soft. Sometimes it's nice to keep a hand on the belly just to remind us to breathe into this space. We invite air into the lungs by flexing, engaging the diaphragm. It creates a vacuum. So the diaphragm flexes, it pulls down, and air is forced into the space of our lungs. That's why we breathe with our belly. When you're ready, we'll start these neck circles in the opposite direction. Once more, finding length through the spine, and then finding those circles as big as you'd like to draw them as you press long through the head. And you might notice as you draw these circles that you feel the stretch all along the neck, rotating around. So as my neck rounds skyward, I feel the stretch on the front of my throat. As my face rounds down, I feel the stretch on the back of my neck. And then when you're ready, pause with that left ear towards that left shoulder. Take a moment to let the shoulders melt and then decide if you'd like a little extra weight in the stretch all along the right side of the neck. Breathing into the diaphragm, that belly space, really just creating that powerful vacuum, inviting all that fresh oxygen into the lungs, into the blood to be carried to every organ, to be carried down to the tips of our toes, back up to the top of our head. Each breath, loving on the whole of us. And then when you're ready, let the head slowly rise to neutral. Let's find some seated cat-cow. On an exhale, drop the forehead down towards the earth. Press through the feet to curl the tailbone up towards the belly button. So we're finding this C shape with the spine, really letting the forehead hang heavy, relaxing through the back of the neck. Pressing through those feet to keep the low back lengthened and rounded here. And then we'll move with the breath, inhaling up to cow and pause. Chin pressing skyward, belly rolls forward with the heart. And now we find this arch in the low back. The heart lifts with each inhale, as does the chin. Now flowing with the breath, exhale to cat. You might press the palms against the thighs. Inhale to cow. You might pull forward on the arms, on the palms of the hands. How do I say that? Moving with the breath back and forth. Find your rhythm for this traditional cat-cow. See if on your next cow you can't really fill the belly and the lungs. And then exhale, let that breath completely melt as you curl the tailbone up towards the belly button. Beautiful. Each inhale that we lift the heart is considered a back bend in yoga. Each exhale, forward fold. On an exhale of your choice, find neutral. We're going to explore cat-cow again, but a little bit differently. We're going to roll into it like a wave. And it works like this. So on an exhale, we're going to drop the chin, tuck it in first, and then press through the feet, curl the tailbone in, and then we scoop with the top of our head and then rise up. And so what I do to imagine this is I imagine that there is a spoon, like a spoon attached to my head, and there's a bowl of cereal in front of me. And my goal is to curl down, scoop up a spoonful of cereal, and then dump it behind me. And I literally think about that while I'm doing this. Scoop your cereal, dump it behind you. And so each time you scoop, you're exhaling, pressing through the pads of the feet. Each time you rise up, you inhale. So exhale, scoop. Inhale, throw that cereal back behind you. A few more times just like this. A new way to experience cat and cow, and a fun way to just love on the spine, the hips, and the shoulders. Once or twice more. And then on your next exhale, come back to neutral. Beautiful. From here, we'll extend the right leg out. We're going to take our left elbow, and as we fold forward, let me cue this differently. Let me cue this differently, y'all. Extend the right leg out, press through the heel, flex the toes of this leg towards your heart. You're gonna wanna hyperextend the knee, so keep a gentle bend in that knee. It's gonna engage the leg, so that adds some effort here. Keeping this left knee bend, we're gonna forward fold over it. So inhale, find the length. Exhale, take that length into your fold. And I'm gonna take my left elbow to the inside of my left knee. And maybe it comes to the inside. Maybe you're just resting it on top of the thigh. Maybe you lengthen your arm out and you place your forearm against the inside of that left knee. You decide. But on an inhale, we're gonna sweep that right arm open, gazing in the direction of those right fingertips. And my rotator cuff is having a rough time on this side of my body, and it hurts to extend my arm that long. So I'm going to bend my elbow, place my hand on my chest, and reach through my elbow instead of the length of my arm. Beautiful. On an exhale, release, come back into your fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, we're going to twist in the opposite direction. This time, our right hand might come to that left knee. Our left hand might brace behind us, allowing us to twist across the body. Letting the jaw relax, the shoulders sink from the ears here. And then on your next exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's switch sides, bending the right knee, extending the left leg out, and then inhale to find length, exhale to fold. And as you fold, we're really pressing the heart forward over these toes. As the toes press back towards the heart, this helps to stretch the whole of the back body in our seat. From here, finding that open twist. So right arm to the inside of that right leg. On an inhale, we open it up. Breathing into your body. Exhale, close. Inhale, rise tall. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction, however you want to make it work. Maybe you just place a hand at the low back. Maybe you're reaching long behind you. Maybe you've got a chair for the back of your chair to brace you. Breathe and be for another breath or two here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to unwind. We're going to widen our feet out wide to goddess pose. So the toes are angled out a bit, right? Our knees are tracking with the toes. We're going to plant our hands on our thighs, fingertips inward. And then on an exhale, lean that left shoulder down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, switch sides. So we're moving with the breath. You might really get into this. This is wonderful for the mid back, for creating space in the rib cage, behind the shoulder blades. A few more breaths just like this. And then on an inhale, rise up. On your next exhale, we're going to come into a bit of a fold. So instead of sinking one shoulder or the other, we're going to sink our heart center. And as you do, press the palms into the inside of the thighs. This helps open up the hips as you sink the heart. Bend through the elbows to lower the heart center. Breathe and be. Pressing through the pads of the feet, right? Helping the legs engage here is going to help us hold this posture. And then on an inhale to rise up, we're starting by pressing through the feet, feeling it engage the muscles of the back, and then we lift the rest of the way, pressing through the hands. All right, come back here to our natural seat. And if you've got a block, we're going to place it in front of us, in front of our left foot. If you don't have a block, you can imagine there's a block there. That works as well. We're going to do some hip flexor and some quad work here, some leg work in our seat. From here, it's pretty simple. We're going to extend that right leg long. Once more, we're going to melt the heart center forward as we flex the toes back towards the heart, just getting that stretch along the back body. Take a moment here. And then rise up, and then moving with the breath. You might hang on to the bottom of your chair for a little extra effort. You might let the hands, I don't know, hang out where they want to. We're going to lift the right heel up and over the block. You might grab a strap and place it around your thigh and use it as an assist. This can be really helpful. But we're inhaling to go up over the block, exhaling to lower. So we're taking it slow. Let's do 2 more breaths or so at your own pace. And imagine that you're flexing this quad muscle, well, you are, and using it to lift the leg. Beautiful. From here, you're going to plant the pad of your foot atop this block, and we're going to do some strength and mobility hip work. If you have a tummy, added bonus, you can use it to add resistance to this work. So don't be afraid. We're going to do this. On an exhale, you're going to invite this knee up towards the chest, flexing the toes towards the heart, pressing through the heel. On an inhale, you're going to press that heel forward. So exhale, pull it up. Inhale, press it forward. Now, having a strap for this is a wonderful tool, but if you're like me and you've got a tummy, you might simply try lifting the tummy up atop from the thigh and trying again. So the added weight of the tummy acts like any resistance weight, right? It's going to make this harder. So lifting the tummy, if you want a little more resistance, you might let the tummy sit. Once more. And then lower it down. Switch sides with that block. We'll start by extending the left leg long, flexing the toes back up towards the heart, pressing through the heel, and then melting the heart center forward over the top of those toes. Breathe and be. Feel that stretch wherever it is in your body. Can you soften into it for a breath or two? Keep that micro bend in this extended leg. And then on an inhale, rise up, and with it, lift that heel. Exhale, lower. Inhale up, exhale, lower. moving with the pace of your own breath, taking it nice and slow. Maybe you lift up tall over this block. Maybe you pause, right? It's here for a lot of reasons and can be an aid to us however we like it. Again, we're letting it be messy. We're exploring what feels good in our body, the challenges that we feel empowered by this morning. And we're throwing out anything that doesn't fit with what we need this morning. And we're doing it unapologetically. All right. Pause for a moment wherever you are. And then let's plant the pad of the foot atop this block. For me, I'm going to start with my belly lifted up from the top of my thigh. And then from here, exhale, bend the knee up, flex the toes towards the heart, press through the heel. Inhale, press the heel away. Exhale, knee up. Inhale, press the heel away. A few more of these, just like this. You might drop the belly for added resistance. You might take that strap to assist with this work. Once more. Beautiful. Drop it down. All right. From here, we'll move into a little sun salutation with optional folds. You might place your blocks here at the midline. Find your Tadasana. So this is where we started our practice, pads of the feet planted, those sits bones planted. In inhale, lengthens through the spine when you're ready. And then find your breath. Let your jaw relax. The tongue floats in the mouth. The belly softens with each inhale. And then on an inhale, sweep the arms out and up if you like. Exhale, we're going to fold. You might plant your hands atop your thighs as you do this. You might let them melt down towards blocks, folding as much or as little as you like. You might hang out in a flat back-like posture here with the head elevated, or you might let your head sink down towards the earth. You decide. Take a moment. On an inhale, pressing through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, palms down towards the heart center. All right, inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, fold how you like. Inhale, rise all the way up, pressing through the feet. We're going to extend the legs out long for plank. And now here, with arms extended above, you might lean that heart center back. The further you lean, the more effort this takes for the core. You might find yourself shaking. And as long as it doesn't hurt, let it be. Let the mess be. We shake, we sweat, we breathe, maybe just a little ragged. This is just excess energy leaving the body. And when we let it be imperfect, we find we release so much more of it. Beautiful. We'll stop letting you hold this plank. On an inhale, rise up to cobra. So from here, the legs stay extended. The heart and the belly roll forward and arch in the low back. And then we're sweeping our hands back behind us to open up this heart center. Seated cobra, breathing into the heart, pressing through the top of the head and those fingertips. And then downward dog looks like this, keeping the legs extended. We're going to find this upright position and then take this lean forward. The ears stay between those shoulders, so we're only leaning as far forward as we can, honoring that. And then from your downward dog, we're going to bend those knees. Exhale into the fold of your choice. Hang out here for a breath or two. And then on an inhale, press through the pads of your feet. Sweep the arms all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms towards the heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale when you're ready, sweep them up. Exhale to the fold of your choice. As much or as little as meets your body. Take a moment Breathe where you are. Feel the power in your body. Press down through the pads of your feet. Feel the legs engage. And then on your next inhale, sweep the arms up, lift the top of the head. Extend the legs out to plank. So pressing through the toes, pressing through the fingertips, leaning back into this, letting the body shake if that's what it needs to do. As long as we're not in pain, as long as we're not causing our body harm, this is just an exploration of our beautiful, messy selves. When you're ready on an inhale, we're going to come into our cobra, arching the low back, sweeping the arms back behind us as we lift through the heart. Beautiful. This is a heart opener. It invites energy into the body. It lifts our spirits. With each inhale, we say yes to more of that. And then exhale to your downward dog when you're ready. Breathe and be. Press through those fingertips, keeping the arms engaged for as long as you like. And then on an exhale of your choice, bend your knees, find your forward fold. Beautiful. Hang out. Let the cheeks on your face soften and sag towards the earth. And then pressing through the pads of the feet, feel those legs grow powerful, feel the heat rise. And then on an inhale, sweep the arms up, rise tall. Exhale, palms at the heart center. Samastiti. Samastiti is a surrender. Anything like this with the palms at the heart center that says, I give up. I give it all up. The need to hustle, the need to perform, the need for what I'm doing to look like what someone else is doing, I give up. It was never mine to pursue. I'm here to embrace my authentic parts, knowing that there's beauty in the mess. Samastiti, I surrender. We'll end our practice with the figure 4 hip opener. So when you're ready, you might bring your legs together and maybe you take a block and you just take that left ankle to the outside of that block and then press that inner thigh away. Maybe you're looking for a bit more intensity in the hip area. And if that's the case, you might cross the ankle up over top the opposite thigh and then press it away. And as we press this inner thigh away, and I say this all the time, but that's because I didn't get it for years. We're not just pressing down, we're pressing down and then rolling out. So we're opening up the hip fully like that. And if you are pressing down and rolling out, you're going to notice that your shoulder is going to want to hitch up towards your ear. I'm going to invite you to use the strength of your arms to press down through that shoulder and keep, oh, hello, cat. Hi, you're cute, but you're in the way now. Where you are, you might turn this into a forward fold. On an inhale, press to the top of the head. Exhale, melt that heart center down as much or as little as you're feeling it. Can you breathe and soften into wherever in your body you're feeling that intensity? Can you find it with your mind's eye? And then with each exhale, invite it to release and soften, to let go and find ease just a little bit. When you're ready, rise up, switch sides. Woo, find where you want to be. And then press down, rolling that thigh away. And again, you can see it here. I'm doing it. My shoulder wants to hitch up. Can we lower that shoulder using the strength of our arms to press down and away? So we're building strength up here while we invite release down in the hips. It's a beautiful thing. When you're ready, maybe you turn this into a forward fold, as much or as little as your body delights in. Again, soften into intensity. As long as we're honoring our joints, as long as there is no sharpness, we can soften into that sensation. And then on an inhale of your choice, rise up tall. Let's find a minute or two of final Shavasana. And normally we just splay out on the ground. Since we're in a chair, my invitation to you is to find comfort, to find ease, to find a posture that you don't have to put any physical effort into to maintain. I'm going to place my blocks together and take my Shavasana in bound angle. So pads of my feet together, knees falling open. And then I'm going to rest my hands palm up. And then because I don't have a blanket to wrap around my neck to like a airplane pillow, I'm just going to invite my chin to tuck down towards my heart center as the back of my neck lengthens. From wherever you are, soften the shoulders. Let your tongue find an easy and gentle place in your mouth. Allow a deep breath into the belly and the heart center to bring expansion. And then a nice slow exhale melts the belly, the hips, the thighs, the knees. That softness trickles all the way down through the ankles and the toes. We hang out in Shavasana to remind us that yoga isn't the flow and the postures, but the flow and the postures are a practice to invite us towards stillness, not just in body, but in mind. And so if in this stillness your mind wanders, come back to the breath. Just like in your practice, those deep breaths bring deeper awareness. They do here in stillness as well. So we notice how the body rises and falls with each breath. We allow every little detail to draw our attention. And every time a distraction creeps in, because it will, we acknowledge it and we say thinking, planning, worrying. And then on your next exhale, blow those thoughts away and come right back to the breath inside your body. And remain here for as long as you like. But if you would like, you might take a gentle wiggle of the toes. And as you hang out here, can you wiggle nothing but your toes? Can you soften through the shoulders, through the legs, only wiggling the toes? Now, what about the fingers? Let the toes soften. And we're going to stretch and wiggle the fingers, but only the fingers. So we're not letting the shoulders hitch up. We're not flexing through the belly or the core of the body. We are just moving our fingers. Can you feel it in your hands? Can you feel that movement up your forearms? Now let's invite that movement up into the wrists and the shoulders. As you wiggle your toes now, you might invite that awakening through the ankles, the knees, the thighs. Finding any movement that the physical body might be asking for. And then when you're ready, we might find a gentle seat to end our practice. Maybe you take palms at Anjali Mudra. Maybe you bow your head. Maybe you don't. But we'll take this time to thank ourselves for the effort of showing up, for the bravery that we exude each time we embrace our messiness, each time we choose to trust ourselves and our own worthiness over the opinions of anybody else. This work we do here is powerful, and only you can do it for you, and you have. The light in the dark in me sees the light in the dark in you, my friend. And beneath it all, we are the same, and we are deeply connected. And I love discovering that more and more with you each time we meet ourselves here.